For too many years, families of children with devastating illnesses have felt helpless as they watch their child suffer. Today, they're taking matters into their own hands and finally finding relief treating their child with cannabis. This is one family's story.
Welcome to another episode of Love and Cannabis. I am Nina Simmons.
And I am Osiris Stephenand.
And we are the proud parents of Aiden Stephenand.
Hi, welcome to another episode. It's been a while. Yikes.
Yes. Happy 2020, everyone.
Yes, happy 2020. Happy New Year.
Yeah, so a lot been going on. Glad 2019 for those that made it out. Congrats. For those, that couldn't make it with us into the new year, rest in peace.
Yes.
Thank you for all the memories. Thank you for all the time. Because I think for all of us, we've lost someone dear to us in 2019.
Yeah, and not to get off topic. So I lost an uncle and basically in the beginning of December. And it was kind of interesting. Rest in peace, Uncle Johnny. He did what you call almost like an open funeral. I don't even know what it was.
It was like he knew he was going to pass, so he had enough service before it.
Yeah, so he had this thing called an open house. So what he did was he knew he got the news that, he was terminal and that he would not make it to New Year's. And he'll be lucky to make it to Christmas. So in the beginning of December, we all were like, okay, let's go see him. And then he had this thing called open house. And then he just invited everybody. He had the hospital bed in the middle of the living room. And he had this thing for 12 hours long where friends and family came in with food and drink. And people just said goodbye. And then everyone that came in, he had a story to tell. So we had a story about when he used to babysit me. And then he had a story of a friend he knew in Brooklyn. And then he met the friend again in California. It's kind of sad, but at the same time, it was dope. Because you were able to say goodbye to the person when they were alive.
Mm-hmm.
And then you really got to tell them how much you love them. So though it was sad, it was very interesting. And I was very grateful to have experienced something like that. And then when I kissed him goodbye, like he knew and I knew it was the last time.
Yeah.
So that was pretty dope. And I never experienced like that. So yes, our rest in peace to all those people who did not make it to 2020.
Yeah, I had one particular guy who was, rest in peace, Johnny. I met him a few times, during family reunions, family visits. Really nice guy. Really, really seemed like everything ahead of him in life. Even though he was older, but still, he had seemed so much years ahead of him. So this illness was like kind of sudden.
Yeah.
But I wanted to send a rest in peace to a gentleman who I met online while we were working on Aiden's bill.
Yes.
He shared his experience out in Washington. His name is John Barkley. His daughter recently passed away, Ducky, in November. Actually, it was on your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd follow him on Facebook. He and I conversed a couple of times. I actually called him a couple of times as well. We talked, and it was just like, a father to father, with ailing children. We bonded on that fact that, we're like on this mission to, heal our children, help them as much as we can, and, just kind of leaned on each other and just kind of inspired one another to keep going, and sadly, when I found out that his, Ducky has passed away from a rare illness, it just, kind of hit me at home, thinking like, you spend so much time with this child. I mean, for parents who have kids that are, basically who are not going through any real illness, you could take your eyes off from them every now and then. But when you have a child that's, going through something, it's like you're 24-hour alert.
Yes.
Like every ounce of you, every energy, every thought process, all of it. There's not like a moment doesn't go by you're not thinking about that child. And for them to go, and it's like, wow. It's like something just ripped from you, and it's like there's a void, and you're kind of stunned. And I know for him that the 2 months seems like an eternity, but yet the pain is still there. Losing that child, because that's what you were giving your every day to, your every waking moment to. And then they're not there. And it's like, now what? What do I do next?
Yeah, so Osiris, tell them about what the father was doing, something similar to we were doing. And then
that's how we got in the conversation, was the fact that he had created a bill out in Washington where the same scenario we had issues where, he had to go pick up his daughter from the school, take her across the street, give her CBD oil, and then send her back to school. He had created a bill where they would be allowed to have CBD on campus, or cannabis oil, period, on campus. And he was the kind of one that helped me with that bill. He shared some of it, what they put together in Washington, which I created, and for Aiden here.
Yeah, so basically he gave us an idea, and
he gave us some points that helped us. He had gotten his rejected twice, I believe, his bill, so he had to go back to the bill a couple of times to revise it, and then go back and resubmit it. He resubmitted it currently, and then also he's doing a what you could call basically a scholarship in his daughter's name. So shout out to John. I promised him. I said, look, dude, I will do a shout out for you and your family. Rest in peace, Ducky. But realize that 2020 is like is to do or die in a way, without saying die, but it's like, if you have any goals or aspirations, there's something to do, why not? 2020, make it happen.
Yeah, make it happen. So that's why tonight I said, Osiris, we got to do another podcast.
Yeah, we have. I personally have to apologize because we haven't been able to get together to do it.
Yeah.
Because there was so much going on between protests that I had to attend with Aiden, because there was a protest in Albany. I went with Aiden. Then school issues with, his exemptions. Then we were going through some other things that, Nina and her bright idea of having us sign up for a PTA. So that's taking our time too as well. And then, the usual stuff during life.
Just life is fatigue. And, when you get into a routine of something, then you do it. I think we kind of got out of the routine of doing the podcast too.
Yeah, because there was so much going on. By the time you get home, you're like wiped. And dealing with Aiden and this Common Core thing, just working with him academically, that's exhausting because while you're working with him, I gotta take up all the other things that are going on around the house that has to be maintained. So it's just like there's no rest.
Yeah.
There's no sitting down. No one person is just sitting around doing nothing.
It's a lot. It's a lot. And like you were saying, so we try to do a lot of academic work with Aiden at home, and it's not just doing homework. It's a lot of other things in addition to the homework. So sometimes by 8:30 and it's time for podcast, and we're just wiped.
Yeah, you'd be lucky just to look at each other. Like sometimes we sit in front of a TV set and just out cold before you know it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, where did the time go? It was just 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. You're gone. But we're gonna be back and we're gonna continue it because I feel that it's helped us a lot too in communications. Also, we've been getting a lot of positive feedback for those who get a chance to listen to us, and they're saying, keep up the good work. You guys are, really helping us. It's giving us insightful. It's funny. Whatever effects that it has on people, they are enjoying listening, and so we will continue. There's going to be some serious topics that we're going to get into because it's life. Life can be serious sometimes.
Very, very, very serious.
Oh yeah, that's right. I realized why we were house hunting for a while too, so that kind of like took over us as well. I think we saw over like 60 somewhat homes in a matter of 2.5 months. 3 months. Hold on, because we started in the end of August, so September, October, November. Yeah, so you figure about almost 10 homes a month, and these are on the weekends, mind you. So we were seeing like 3 to 4 houses a pop every weekend. And that's not including holidays. And then you went away to see Uncle. So there were some times, and there were moments where I had to go see homes on my own.
Yeah. So just to people who are listening who are not from New York. So we're in New York. We live in Harlem, and we were predominantly looking at homes in Long Island.
Yeah, predominantly Long Island.
It's just a suburb outside New York City. So we saw it all.
And I thought I knew Long Island because I lived there for quite some time, went to school there. Graduated from Nassau Community College, graduated from Hofstra, and also lived there for like about 15 years of my life after college. So I thought I knew Long Island, but not until we started home searching there, I realized like, wow, there's some parts of Long Island I did not know that existed. And there are some homes out there that's just like,
should not be sold.
This should not be sold. It's a hit or miss. It really is. And then the price.
The price for dumps.
It is. You know what's crazy? I just read somewhere about an average between, I think, 70 to 100,000 people every year leave New York. Or is that monthly? Either way, it's a crazy number. People are leaving New York, but then they're not stating, well, how many are coming into New York? Because it doesn't seem like it's going down.
No, it doesn't seem
and the rents are going up.
And it seems like it's still crowded. So it must be kind of equal, the amount coming in and coming out.
Yeah.
It seems that way anyway. I don't know the stats on that, but
I got to do the research on that because it's costly too, because people from the city are moving into Long Island and other areas, and they're buying the homes at what they're asking for.
Oh yeah,
and
more.
And more, but it's already high to begin with because it's overpriced. I mean, granted, the rates are low, so people are jumping on it, but because they're accustomed to paying so much in New York City, for them to go to Long Island, out in the suburbs of Westchester, whatever the case may be, they'd be willing to pay that amount because to them it's like, oh, I'm saving.
Exactly. So you have a lot of bankers and people making these very high salaries that you're competing with for homes. A friend of mine, she's trying to live in Westchester, and she says every time she makes an offer, somebody comes in with a cash offer. You're talking about a cash offer for like $700K.
It sounds like an investor, but somebody who's...
Oh, yeah, it probably is. But like people...
But still, somebody's paying for it.
Somebody's paying for it. Cash.
So what's going to happen next? I mean, to a certain point, do you move out of the state and then travel in? So your commute's going to be what? Anywhere between an hour and a half to 2 hours? Or do you live out of... do you live in the city for a couple days out of the week and then move out of state? So you have two homes.
And people can't afford that because the city, you're paying about $3K a month for a 2-bedroom. How can you afford that and a mortgage out somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out an answer because it is outrageous. I mean, both our incomes together still, it's just like, what? And if we were anywhere else, we'd be able to live comfortably.
Yeah.
And have money in the bank and the cars. But here it's like you're just scrapping just to keep it together.
Exactly. So then, when it comes to searching for a home with a couple, like say me and you, it's signed that also within that we have our differences.
Definitely. I have my taste, you have yours.
He has his taste, I have my taste. So
yeah,
it's become very difficult.
Yeah, if you're looking for a home, yeah, you got to get on the same page with that, because especially if you have two different styles, two different interests, needs, wants, desires, you got to figure out, do you have wants or do you have needs? Which ones are most important to you? And collectively come together like, okay, let's narrow it down, because for you want a Cape Cod. I'm okay with a colonial. You want...
Okay, so let me explain myself. So a Cape Cod home is a home that I grew up in, which means that they have at least 2 bedrooms or a bedroom on the first floor. And then they have a upstairs area, which typically is either unfinished attic or 2 bedrooms on top.
Yeah.
A colonial home, it will be no bedroom. A true colonial home will have no bedrooms on the first floor. So again, the differences come in. I work with elderly, and I've seen elderly people not able to go to their bedrooms because they have stairs to enter their bedrooms. So that now they have to move out their homes because it's very hard to access their bedrooms.
I got healthy needs.
Osiris doesn't see that.
I don't. I have healthy needs, so I go up and down. Now I look at it this way. That's exercise for me. To go up and down the stairs, I mean, we currently live in a floor walk up. One flight, I don't think is going to kill me.
Okay, so I'm looking at the future. Now,
I am too.
If you're living at a home for 20, 30 years, right now, you could do stairs. But God, like I work in a hospital, so basically I see the worst of life, okay? I see accidents, I see strokes, I see heart attacks, I see day-to-day things that could just happen and your life can change. So just because you can do stairs now doesn't mean you can do stairs tomorrow.
I'm riding on the fact that I'll be taking those stairs.
So this is the thing. You have two people that think very differently. I don't know if you want to say I think of the worst and he thinks of the best, or I'm just a realist. But I do not want to live in a home where I have to go upstairs every day to reach my bedroom. I just don't.
I think we're just going to have two separate rooms. You and I are going to have to live in two separate rooms.
But that's fine as long as they're on the first floor.
I'm fine if it's mine on the second.
So that's another thing. A lot of the homes that he liked were that
all the bedrooms were upstairs.
Osiris has an elderly mom. She cannot do stairs. How could she stay with us?
Well, pull out couch, a sofa bed. There's solutions for everything, And knowing my mother, she's not gonna stay. She'll come and visit, hang out for a while, but then she's like, "All right, I want to go home." She's not the type to want to stay at your house all the time. She wants to feel comfortable in her own bed. That's how she is. She wants to be in her own bed.
Well,
she likes her own clothing, her own food, things like that.
I got it. So I think, this is where the difference is when you're married and you have to make a huge decision. A lot of factors that can come into play, like how you grew up, what examples you had. Say I lived in a Cape Cod, so I guess that's all I know. I never lived in a colonial, even though my bedroom was on the second floor and I had to do stairs.
Yeah.
But knowing that there's rooms on the first floor is a comfort.
Well, look, for me, I've lived in an apartment building all my life, so I can give or take. I've lived in a 1-bedroom and just lived in a 3-bedroom. So for me, I'm flexible in that, but at the same time, it has to be move-in ready because I've come
here we go with that.
No, it's not a here we go with that.
No,
it's the truth.
We can talk about it. That's fine.
But that's what it is. For me, I prefer a move-in ready home that everything's been taken care of for me. I'm not doing anything else to the house. I have what I want. I'm good to go because I don't want to spend my weekend is a DIY, a do it yourselfer. I'm not the handyman. I'm not building any shelves. I'm not putting a rack together. That's just not me. I've done it. I can do it. But if I'm paying all this money, why am I going to do those things?
What I want Osiris to understand that New York doesn't work that way. You have to have a lot of money to have a move-in ready home. And
what's a lot of money though?
Like millions of dollars.
Really?
So
I've seen some good homes though.
They're gonna go very fast.
Which they have. No.
Which we've lost. So the realistic is that these homes in New York are not gonna be move-in ready. Most people who have bought homes in New York had to do work to their homes because the amount of money you need to put down for a move-in ready is unrealistic, or someone's gonna overbid you.
That's the thing. You end up one way or another. You're gonna pay. You're gonna pay regardless. It depends. But I'd rather pay up front in the sense that, hey, I'm saving. My time is valuable to me. I'd rather spend that time with Aiden, spend it with you, or spend it doing something valuable as opposed to putting our house together piece by piece because the previous owner didn't have the resources or the time to take care of those things that need to be taken care of, like a hole in the roof, or maybe some molding, or maybe, hey, I never upgraded the bathroom or the bedroom. So everything's different.
That's the thing. Yeah, everybody has their. This is the thing. This is kind of the roadblock we're having, and we're just kind of putting it out there to you guys.
Well, it's not a roadblock. We're still looking.
Yeah, we're still looking, but as I'm looking more, the prices of homes are actually going up, and the ones that we could afford are move-in ready. Or not moving ready,
yeah.
Sorry.
Well, the thing is, the reason why it's moving fast is because the interest rates are low, so people are taking advantage of it. But they're paying some high prices.
Yeah, they're paying. Yeah, it's really high prices.
Now, my concern is this: what happens is a downturn.
But the thing is, these people are not gonna. There's always
They're not thinking about that.
They're not thinking about that because to think about it, most people you're going to be in the home for 30 years, 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be downturns, upturns, and you kind of ride with it.
Like a wave.
Like a wave.
Yeah.
Smooth wave.
Yeah. Not everything's all smooth, but I figure we'll keep searching. I put it into this universe. When that moment, when we see it, we'll know it, and we'll be ready for it. Plus, there's also all the other things that you got to do before you start looking for them. You know, you got to start checking out your finances. Make sure your credit score is up. If your credit score is not at a certain level and you want to get leverage, fine, start pulling up your scores up. So you got to put time into doing that. And everything is not bang, bang, bang. You got to have things in place before you do it. Like everything else, like marriage, like, having kids. Put things in perspective and just, set your goals. I think for the most part, we still have to figure out where we want to live. It's not just a matter of, hey, Long Island. Long Island's pretty big. Like, where specifically, what type of community we want to be part of. Are things within walking distance, or do you got to keep driving to get to places? The school system, for us, we already know. School system's first and foremost. And what usually happens when you want to be in a good school system,
you're paying high tax.
You're paying through that neck. I've seen taxes anywhere between 14 to 25.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. It's
scary.
I just met a gentleman who's selling his home in Jersey. He says he pays about $26,000 in taxes.
What?
And he has no kids.
But
all his kids are adults now.
Is he going to be able to sell that home?
Yeah, he's asking, he's asking for a pretty penny for it, and he's looking to downsize because he says the house is a 5,000 square foot home. Just the home is not including the lot itself.
But is he going to be able to sell the home with taxes that high?
That's an interesting question because he also made some renovations that were not listed. So when they do, that will cause the taxes to go even higher.
Oh no. He's screwed.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. It's a tough call, but he might be able to get it only because that he's upgrading everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's making it move-in ready.
To me, that is just aesthetic, is vanity. To me, that move-in ready concept. Because honestly, no, sorry. This is my opinion. We said we're going to talk about it.
Go for it.
To me, that's not the most important thing if it's move-in ready. Because no matter what, you're going to end up doing something to your home. And your home is going to be a cash cow. No matter how it looks like when you initially buy it.
Yeah, but for me, look, where I grew up, things didn't turn pretty. There were some ugly places. So even the place where you walk home, you feel defeated. You're like, I live here? Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So you don't feel inspired to do anything unless you feel inspired to move out. You're not gonna feel inspired to change anything. You're inspired to get me the hell out of here.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. So something you said to me a while back really resonated with me.
What's that?
There
was a lot of things.
Yeah.
Was it nice? I hope.
It wasn't nice. It was neutral.
Okay.
So it was fine. So basically, it was just I was trying to understand where you were coming from, and because there were homes that I wanted, and you were like, no, and I was like trying to get to see where was the root of this, and where is this coming from, and trying to figure out what was going on, like
why the pushbacks,
and how your psyche was going. And you said, well, Nina, I came from a certain place. I don't want to go back there. I don't want a mess. I don't want my home to look a certain way. I want my home to be. You didn't say it. I can't remember your verbatim, but it was something towards the lines like, I want a nice place. I don't want to live in a messed up place. It looks a certain way.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, granted.
I don't know if I didn't.
No. You're right. Because where I grew up, it was nice in the beginning when we were young kids, but I barely remembered. But as I got older, late teens, it started deteriorating. Mm-hmm. It started falling apart. Because it was an apartment complex, so the landlord didn't invest. So then you started seeing demographics started to change. All these started to change. So now you got some empty apartments, broken window, drugs, the whole 9 yards. So I watched the deterioration. I said, if I ever get an opportunity to get my own place, I make sure it's a nice area. I make sure I got grass or I got, something to look forward to come home to that I say, this is my home. This clean, it's just perfect the way I would envision a home to have a peace of mind. Where you're not looking over your shoulder, you're not looking at some broken glass, you're not looking at some abandoned cars or strange people hanging out, I'm uncomfortable. Granted, that's a Cinderella world or that's some make-believe, but I've seen it. It does exist. But why would I want to move away to only end up in a place that I don't want to be? When I'm working, I have a job. I have the income. I have resources. I can avoid that. Why would I want to go towards that?
Yeah, so that kind of resonated with me, and I had to take a step back when you told me that and kind of digest it and see. Because we said in previous podcasts that we grew up very differently. So I had to take a step back and kind of think about that and think about where you were coming from moving forward when we were looking for a home.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked because I saw your home. I'm like, she's in families in the burbs, nice home, got a car in the garage. Didn't have that experience, so I wouldn't know how to relate to that. Mm-hmm. Because again, I've lived in an apartment all my life, so I thought that you wouldn't want to live in a home where, I'm just there because of school, so it doesn't matter what this house looks like.
Because what you didn't realize that my home when I grew up, was not move-in ready.
Uh-huh.
It was only a 2-bedroom, 1-bath home. It was a fixer-upper. It wasn't a move-in ready home at all. So
your parents took
they just wanted a home.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted to move out. They were living in an apartment in Left Rock City. And my mom said that it was had roaches.
So, I can't.
So she was done. She just wanted a home because a lot of times when you live in a place with is multiple apartments, no matter how clean you are,
everybody else is not the same.
The one person next to you is not. They travel, so she was just she just wanted a home. And it wasn't moving ready at all. She said, you should have seen how it looked. It looked horrible. My parents could not afford people to paint. They had to paint it themselves. And years gone by, then they were able to do it. My parents' home is nowhere near glamorous. The neighborhood is okay. You
gotta understand though, in comparison to where I came from, it's a definite step up.
Yeah, but it's not a big home at any means.
But again, did you or did you not have your own bedroom?
Yes, I did.
Okay. You got that experience.
Exactly. But that's different from having a move-in ready home. Okay. When neighborhoods that we're looking into are nice neighborhoods. Mm. They're not neighborhoods that are drug ridden like we live in now.
Some places in the burbs have their drugs hidden.
But it's not out. We live,
no, actually, no. We can't say that because it's not like we see people out here, shooting it up, smoking it up. What? No, I mean,
what, dude?
No. If you go a certain amount of blocks, you may run into it. I have yet watched anybody do anything outside this block. Maybe I've seen the people after they've used it walk around on cloud 9. That's something different. Okay. But to actually see them using it out in the open. No, I haven't seen that.
Okay, I've seen a guy urinate with his
you see
private part out exposed, and my son has to see that.
It's the city.
So it's not like we live in a nice neighborhood.
Understandable, but it's the city. You're surrounded by millions and millions of people.
I get that.
And as you've been watching the news lately, there's a few that are off their rocker.
Yes.
They've been let out of the institutions, and also remember, they're opening up a number of methadone clinics here too, so that doesn't help.
It doesn't help. That's why I want to get out.
Yeah, so these are not your common residents. These are people from other communities. So there's a mix.
Oh no, that guy that I told you about, he's a regular. He's a regular homeless guy we see every day.
Okay, so yeah, he had to go real bad.
He had to go bad, I guess.
But that's another story. But going back to the point, okay, I get the idea, but that was back then. They settled for it. So the question is, do we have to settle for that?
It doesn't. think, I'm not saying we have to get a total dump.
Well, that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Yeah, I don't think so, but I do
and a money pit.
Yeah,
those are the two things we worry about.
But a home is always gonna be a money pit, no matter what.
No, there's money pits, and then there's like you are sucking the life out of me every time I turn around.
I don't know if that's gonna be avoidable, but I guess we'll see.
No, it's avoidable. But then that's saying, you know what? I know I'm gonna run into this dead end, but I'm going that way. Why? Like, why set yourself up?
Because at the end of the day, you have a home for yourself. You have a home for your family to come to, and 30, 20 years down, it's going to be worth way more.
See, but then it's not a home. It's an investment. So you're looking at it as an investment.
I mean, that's the only way that's the only way I've seen it as. Everyone who's bought homes by a family has made up for it.
Mm-hmm.
So they bought a home and it's always been an investment for them.
Okay, been an investment for them. So what happens when they sell that investment and they're looking to find a place? They can't even stay in their own community. They can't even stay in the same town because it's overpriced now. It's like that money they made, they can't even live there anymore. So now they got to move out of state.
Yeah, but maybe they could leave it for their family and they could sell it and they can have whatever they could do whatever they want with it.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. Maybe they do want to move out of state.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do when they retire, will move to Florida or whatever.
Yeah, but okay. So if we're going in with the idea that this is not a home but an investment, we have to separate the two.
Yeah, that's true.
We have to go in with the idea, okay, this is a business decision. We're doing it for business. So the first care of business is that we get him into a great school.
Yes.
We are working to get this home up to par at some later date. When he's done with school, we're not staying. We're looking for other places to live, and we're going to sell.
Yeah.
So don't get comfortable, basically.
Yeah, I think the way I was talking to my brother the other day, we were talking about how a family member is buying a home in South Carolina. And we just said, you know what, New York is not a place where you're going to say, I'm going to get my dream home and it's going to be all nice. It's just not realistic. It's a place where you get a place to lay your head and there's enough room, but you go to work. That's it. Because you're not going to get your dream home here. They have jobs. They have work for you. You'll find work in the tri-state area. Don't get me wrong. But it's not a place where you're going to I'm going to build my dream home. No. It's ridiculous. Too expensive.
The reality is it's a storage room.
It's a storage room. You have a place to lay your head, go to work. That's it.
And do it all
over again. Basically, yeah. That's it. That's the reality of New York real estate. If you're not rich, or I'm sorry, wealthy.
Yeah, it doesn't count. You gotta be definitely well off, or inherited some building or a home, and you don't have to pay anything.
Because my uncle was showing us pictures of his home. He's gonna buy in South Carolina for like $67,000 because he already has the land.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, there's no way we can get anything even with our down payment of $100,000 plus, our two incomes of over $100,000 plus, it's still not enough.
Well, not in New York. South Carolina.
And down South Carolina.
Carolina, we could have paid that off already and bought land on top.
Exactly. But, however, the job situation is not the same.
Yeah, it's definitely not. The lifestyle.
The social services are not the same.
What social services? We don't use social services.
Yes, we do. For example, Aiden gets free lunch, free breakfast, free after school, free door-to-door busing. Yeah. If he was in the South, we'd be finding a way to drive him to school.
Definitely would have anyway because it's just a bunch of dirt roads. But they have busing.
Yeah, but not door-to-door.
No, not door-to-door. You got to meet at some dirt road.
Yeah,
I get that. I get.
So we do get this. Many people will move to the South with any ailments. They said the healthcare, the system is not the same. The promptness.
We're spoiled in New York.
We're kind of spoiled in certain ways, even though it's expensive.
But we pay for it.
And we pay for it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so it's not really spoiled. We pay for it. Our tax house.
So
it's a challenge.
It's a challenge, but I just wanted to point out, when you're married and you have a kid with...
Even that's a challenge.
It's a challenge, yeah. So when you're married, one, big challenge. Two, you have a child with special needs, and you're trying to look for a home. It's a lot.
Yeah, communication is a big thing.
And you have to see where the person's coming from, but though we like to change and not remember the past with how we grew up, it always comes back.
Oh, yes, it does.
And you don't think so, but it does have a huge impact on your daily decisions.
Yeah, I've noticed that. A lot of things I've noticed. But that's in another episode. But the truth of the matter is this. We need to get on the same page.
Yeah.
But we need to understand, like, from what angle are we coming from? Because a lot of times emotions get involved.
Mm-hmm.
And so it blurs the lines. Past experiences also affect any decisions that we want to make. So we just need to figure out, like, okay, here's the parameters. This is what we're going to work with. Give the information. Here's your input. What are your thoughts? But it has to be rational. It can't be just based on emotion. It has to be rational. And I'm just speaking for myself. Like, if I am going to give an input about something, it can't be from an emotional standpoint. It definitely has to be rational. It has to be logical. And also has to look at all avenues. Because we're all going for the same goals, correct?
Yeah, so for the same thing, I say for myself, sometimes I get the whole emotional, and kind of almost like a vanity comes in. Because I get...
Vanity?
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, I'm like, wow, everybody in my family owns a home except for me. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with us? And that plays a part. Like looking at what other people have.
That puts a lot of pressure. I don't think you understand.
Yeah, and that puts a lot of pressure and stress on the relationship. So sometimes I have to fall back from that. But I do think about that a lot. I'm like, what are we doing wrong? There's people who make less money than us. And
they have those things.
But, and I have to fall back because like, that's not everything.
Yeah, but maybe that was their focus only. Like, that's the only thing they wanted. That was it. We have a number of things going on.
Exactly. We have to think about Aiden. You think about his school. We have to think about our stress levels because it's just us doing everything. You know?
Yeah, you got to look at the other aspect too, our commute. And plus, we have doctors specifically working with Aiden that have been a benefit to him here. Mm-hmm. So that changes. Now, you have to take all these things into consideration. So that makes it really stressful. And I think that also holds us up from making any further decisions.
Exactly. So right now we do, in a positive, we have a sweet deal. Aiden has door-to-door busing.
That's good, but I think it's the fact that he has some great relationships in his school. We have great supportive cast around us.
Yeah, exactly. So we have a lot of support here and a lot of things that are positive here too. So it is a lot.
Yeah, we would be giving up a lot if we decide to move. But at the same time, we know we can't stay.
We can't stay. So it's like that's kind of, I think that kind of has been a lot of stress on us.
Oh yeah,
it's been really stressful. It's been really hard for us.
Yeah. You've been pushing the envelope. You know that, right?
Yes.
You admit to it?
Mm-hmm.
You heard it, folks, live.
Yeah.
She actually admit to something.
Because like some days I just can't take it.
Some?
Most.
Oh. I thought you were gonna be honest. I thought you were gonna be out in the open with it.
Yeah, because like for me, it's that we have basically a 1-bedroom.
It's a bedroom and a half. We just use the other room for our work. I mean, if we wanted to, we could literally clear this out and put a wall bed that folds up or something. Maybe even an air mattress that would fit in here, but you would have to deflate it. But the question is this: why have the additional room? Why would we want another bed in here?
Because I sleep on the couch.
You choose to sleep on a couch.
No, it's not a choice, folks. It's not a choice. I cannot sleep with you two because I don't sleep. I'm a light sleeper. You know what?
Once a month, that's all I gotta say. So you're okay with being on the couch, which is fine. I figured eventually, if we were to get a home with multiple bedrooms, we would have our own bedrooms.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I sleep differently than you do. I like the window open. You don't.
That's fine.
I like cold sheets. You don't.
Mm-hmm.
You like heavy blankets. I don't. So yes, those are the work. So I totally get it. Like you like space. I like to cuddle.
I love space.
I love to cuddle. So yes, there's some issues there that we got to work through. So and it's interesting dynamics, but at the same time, yes, help by not making it more stressful than it already is. Because I think about it daily as well.
Okay.
Put it out there, so don't stress me. That's all I gotta say. Because I like to keep it in sometimes if I'm stressed out, but I know it's wrong because it pours out in other ways. It'll come out in some other way. So it becomes almost like a passive-aggressive type of behavior. I try to avoid it. So give me room. If there's something you want to talk about, fair enough, let's talk. But the outbursts or the, I guess, pushbacks on it's like unnecessary conversations, like, okay, it's coming from somewhere.
It is.
Yeah, if you're not honest with it and coming straight out and just say, look, this is what's on my mind, and you just acting in a certain way, I'm going to reject it and I'm going to walk away.
Okay. I get it, yeah. No, I have my outbursts and I have my days where I give a lot of attitude. So it's not right. And a lot of it stems from frustration. Frustration with work. Frustration with Aiden's situation. Frustrations in our marriage. Frustrations in our living situation.
Yep, just all kinds of frustration.
All kinds of frustrations. So, and it does come out.
Oh, good to know.
And
But you do know what the end result is, that I distance myself. I avoid you. I'll avoid I just don't have time because I have things that are on my mind. Because 2 people have been let go from my job.
Yes.
Secondly, I got to commute. Third, I have to get him ready, get him straight so he can go to school.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to also make sure that I put things in place so it makes your life a little easier when you come home and you have them for the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do these things, it just piles onto already stuff that's going through my mind. And I'm going to figure out which is most important to me to focus on. I will cut off whatever attitude, whatever behavior you got going on, I will cut it off. I'm just like, I don't even see it. In fact, I'm ignoring it. But the problem is this: if I ignore that, you're attached to it, so I'm going to ignore you too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Because I notice when I do that, you get even more amped. Now you're like definitely trying to get my ear. And I'm like, I got to go. I'm going to walk outside. I'm going to go get something to do. So if you got something going on, just say, hey, look, you got a second? I just want to throw something out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's daily, so...
I don't have that kind of time.
Yeah, so I want to talk every day.
Every day?
So when I wake up in the morning, I'm helping get Aiden ready for the bus. Then I deal with...
Could we change the morning routine? Could you not ask 10 questions in the morning as soon as you wake up before coffee or anything?
Okay.
Just one question. Just ask one question. Get the answer and let's just get the day going.
That's fine. We could play music or something happy.
Yeah, please. I hate anything. Motivational speech. Hey, we can make a sermon in the morning.
That's fine. But I do work. I have a very stressful job and I work with kids with a lot of needs. I don't sit down. I'm on the go all the time. Then I rush out of work, take an Uber. Hopefully I make it to the bus driver so she...
I understand that.
Yeah,
so you're go day.
I'm go all day. So
there should be some downtime then. For
When?
your energy. But that's what I'm asking. It should be in your mind some downtime. But it seems like you're go, and I'm going to go after him too. It's like, hey, let's relax. Remember, I do stay with Aiden. So he's restless sometimes. So do think that, hey, he might be keeping him up too. He might be worried about him too. He might not be sleeping as well as he thinks he is. Because remember, you're in the other room, so you have no idea.
Oh, I know, because that's why I can't sleep with you guys.
So then why are you stressing me out then?
Some people need to be stressed. Anyway, so I think...
seriously? This is why men drink.
And if you heard of the term mommy juice, mommies drink too. Or do cannabis.
Yeah, I do cannabis. Yeah, that helps. That helps a lot more because I zone out.
The cannabis helps more to deal with
stress. Especially when I have to listen to you, I zone out. I just just let you keep talking. Or you already had like 14 different thoughts that go run through my mind, and sometimes I just don't think about anything. I just hear your voice. I'm like, wow. And after a while, I have to look at you. I'm like, holy cow! You were saying something.
So nice.
But I'm sorry. But I think it does help the relationship. Because then I'm not arguing with you. I'm not fighting with you.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, so it allows you to get... Because, for the most part, you just want me to listen, right? you really don't want me to respond to anything.
I don't know. It depends, but sometimes I want you to respond.
Sometimes I can't tell because for me, if you're going to tell me something, if you're going to talk to me, just to give you a hint, tell me in the beginning what it is, or tell me in the beginning, look, I'm not looking for you to solve my problem. I'm not looking for you to give me an answer. I just need you to listen, because then that allows me to prepare myself.
A precursor type thing.
Yes.
Okay,
because
fine.
then it tells me what kind of mindset I need to be in, because there's moments when I want to check out. So at least if I know that I'm just there to listen, I'm good. But because as a man, my first thing, if I hear you telling me something, problem solve. Every man wants to solve the problem, because they feel that's a role. So, hey, because they're not going to sit there for 45 minutes to an hour and hear you talk about something with no solution. It's just absurd. We feel that it has to be resolved, but we also understand women just want to talk about something, talk it out, and let you come up with your own solution.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sure. But I'm going to let you know, though, I'm setting a clock, no more than 20 minutes. I have a short attention
All right,
span.
folks, let's wrap it up.
No, I'm just serious. I'm just putting it out there. 20 minutes.
I'm not doing a clock.
I'm doing it. Oh, you're not? Oh, hey, I just put 20 minutes and just go ahead. Just let me know what you think. It's not fair.
You see what I'm dealing with, folks?
It's just
You
not fair.
see what I'm dealing with.
No, seriously, as a man, it's not fair for a man to sit there for a whole hour.
I never talk to him for more than 15 minutes, guys. It may feel like an hour to him, but I never will talk to... I don't talk to anyone that long about one topic, so...
Really? All right.
It may feel like that to him, but it's not.
Okay, so we're gonna...
If he put the timer, he'd be like, oh, shit, it only was 10 minutes.
Probably.
It may feel like that, but it's never that long.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll keep that in mind. I'll be like, look, it's no more than 10 minutes. No more than 10 minutes. It's going to be fun. I'll basically psych myself for it. Deal?
Deal.
Okay.
All right, so let's wrap up this episode.
Yes, guys. Again, happy 2020. Let's look forward to a great year. Make everything count. That's it. One day at a time, but make it count.
I think 2020, let's try to have some guest speakers on this.
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. We'll think about it. I know a few people who could actually reach out.
Yeah.
It would be great.
2020. I know someone had reached out to me on Facebook and said if I would have some guest speakers, like my family members.
Well, we would have to set it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to put it out there where we're going to say, oh, well, I'm going to have this person or that person.
No, but I'm just saying what she said. She said that she was looking forward to that. Yeah.
Okay, we could do that. We would have to structure it in a way. I guess we would definitely, we could select topics to talk about, or just basically just do it off the cuff and make it around their relationship with us.
Yes, that's what they were saying.
I think so.
Yeah, that's what she wanted.
I get that. You know, from whoever we've been dealing with who's been supportive, whether it's the doctors, whether it's an local politician or people that we've actually been in, I guess, in a relationship that's helping us with around Aiden. Yeah, definitely. I can see that.
Yeah, so I think that's something to think about for the
Yeah, stay
future.
tuned. We'll definitely let you know when that's going to happen and who's going to be our first guest.
Yeah. All right. The first episode for 2020.
Yes, finally got it done. Thank you.
It's a wrap.
And yes, guys, thank you again for your patience. And we do apologize, but we're going to keep this up, okay?
Ciao.
Have a good one.
Thanks for tuning in another episode of
Love and Cannabis.
I'm Osiris Stephenand.
And I'm Nina Simmons.
Be strong.
And stay empowered.